Hello and welcome to this live stream. All right, so today we're going to be designing a product pricing page, and how we're going to be designing a custom table too, meaning we're not going to be using the default tables that come with these WordPress, these Elementor plugin and the like. So we're just going to be designing everything custom from scratch. And without wasting time, let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is to log into my dashboard. Okay, so while I'm here, I'm just going to come over to plugins and select add new. Okay, so if you don't have Elementor installed and some other plugins, you're just going to install that right here. So I'm just going to search for Elementor. I have it installed on my website, so I'm just showing you guys in case this is your first time working with WordPress and you don't know your way around. So just search for Elementor. It's going to appear most likely the first on this search results page. I'm just going to install it. Okay, right here. For example, my one is active. What you just need to do is to click on install. Something like this, install now, and also click on activate. Now you need to install Elementor. You need to install essential add-ons for Elementor, this second one. And also you need to install one last plugin that is called THEWPBRO. So let me just search that up right now. All right, I need to install this THEWPBRO. Those are the three plugins we're going to be using in this live stream. Okay, and also this live stream will most likely be divided into two parts. Today we're going to be working on this on the custom pricing. Let me first of all show you what we're going to be designing in this live stream. So let me come here to this page and let's visit the pricing page. So as you can see, we have a simple pricing page, landing page here. We have flexible pricing for every business. We have the subheading, and then we have the monthly tab for the monthly pricing, and then they can easily switch to the yearly plan also. And also we have a table here. This is what we're going to be creating using the THEWPBRO plugin. We have a table here for them to compare the plans. For example, on our basic plan, they can optimize 5 pages. On the professional plan, 20 pages. Meanwhile, on the premium and enterprise plan, they have unlimited page optimization. And we have a frequently asked section, and lastly we have the call to action. So this is something simple, not so serious, and let's just get started with the whole design process. Now we're going to come back to our dashboard, and we're going to come to Elementor. No, we're going to come to templates, and we're going to click on add new. Okay, so this is what we're going to be creating a template for which we are going to be using for the pricing table. So what we're going to do now is to click on select, and we are going to click on section. Let's just give it a name so that we can identify it easily in our dashboard. Let's just give it monthly pricing suits. Okay, now I'm going to click on create template. Okay, so here we have it, and we can start designing our pricing table. So the first thing we're going to do, is to add a new layout. We're going to be choosing let's go with grid. We're going to be choosing grid. No, let's first of all start with flexbox, and let's choose this direction. Okay, now come here to click on this plus icon to add a new element, and we're going to be adding a new container. So drag and drop the container right here. Okay, and actually let's click on this 6 icon to edit the container, and let's change this container layouts from flexbox to grid. And we're going to have 4 columns. Let's just change this to 4 and leave the row to 1. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to add a little bit of padding to this first container that we have here. So we're going to add so click on this container, this container right here, and come to advanced. So under advanced, we're going to unlink all these values. We're going to add 40 to the top, we're going to add 50 to the right, 40 to the bottom, and 50 to the left. Okay, so this is the padding that we're going to be using. And actually let's edit this. Let's make this one 40 to the right, and also 40 to the left, and let's make this one 50. Let's make this 50. And now let's change the background color. So while still on this edit container, we're going to come to style, and I'm going to come to classic and select color, and I think I used F5. Okay, now let's start creating this old table. So we just need to create just one container, and I'll just duplicate it for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start from the basic plan. As you can see right here, we're going to start from this one, basic plan. So copy this text and then come back here. I'm going to drag in the heading. And we're going to paste the basic plan text here. And we're going to come to style. We're going to come back to style. And I'm going to change the text color to 1A. And then the typography also, we're going to be using a font called Intertight. We're going to be using a font called Intertight. And then the size for the font is going to be 15. But let's make it 16. Okay, 17 looks good. Now what we're just going to do is to just duplicate this one. So click on this pencil, right click on this pencil icon and click on duplicates. And next thing we're going to do is to copy the price. So for this one we have $19 per month. Come back to pricing and paste it right here. But we're going to increase the size for this one, and for this we're going to be using let me check, we're going to be using 27. Okay, and there's a little bit of space between the basic plan and then the price. What we're going to do is to reduce the space between them. So click on this edit container, come down to layouts, scroll down, and we're going to unlink these values. Now we can just put in, let's say 10. Okay, that's too much. Let's say 5. Okay, now the next thing we're going to add is a button. So click on this add elements icon, and we're going to drag in a button. So choose this button and drag it in. Okay, so here we have the button, and what I'm going to do is to just, okay, we have get started. I'm just going to edit the text here to get started, and you're going to put in the link to the plan right here, so that by the time they click on this get started button, they will be redirected to where they can actually purchase the plan. Now what we're going to do is to come to style, and for the text color is going to be white, and then the background color is going to be blue, and we're using this color code 0055DE. We're going to come to typography, And then under the font family, we're going to change this to Intertite. That's the font we're going to be using throughout the course of this tutorial. And then we're going to change the weight to 600. Sorry, we're going to change the weight to 600. And let's work on this button in general. Let's change the border radius for this button. Let's make it a little bit rounded at the sides. Okay, just add 5 to the border, or the border top, right, bottom, and left. And for the padding, we're going to unlink the values. We're going to put 10 at the top, 50 to the right, 10 at the bottom, and 50 to the left. Okay, now we are getting there. We're getting there. Next thing we're going to do is to add what is included. So let me just copy this. Let me copy this. Okay. So come back here to add a new element, and we're going to drag in the text editor. All right, so for this one, you can use the text editor, and you can also use something called icon list. Let me see whether I have it here in the free version of Elementor. So let's just search for icon list. All right, so you can use this icon list also, but I prefer using this text editor. It's a little bit easier and it gets the job done. So what I'm going to do is to copy all and paste. And that's how we have this one right here. Now let's just style this text that we just pasted. So come to style, and as usual, we're going to change the font color to 1A, 1A, 1A. And the typography, we're going to be using Intertite. We're going to be using Intertite. And for the size, we're just going to leave it as default. And the line heights, we're going to change the values to EM and use 1.8. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so we're actually getting there. We're getting there. So I think we should work on the spacing in this container. I feel everything is still jammed together. Let's come back to edit container. Let's change this to 10. Change this to 10. I think it's actually okay as 10. All right, so now we've designed this basic plan. What we're just going to do is to just duplicate it. Now right click on this edit container and duplicate. And we're going to duplicate it for as many as possible that we need. But for this tutorial, I just need 4. I need 4 and duplicate the last one. Okay, as you can see in this second one, in this second plan that we have, the professional plan, I added a little bits of design here to let people know that this is the hottest plan that people are choosing right now. So to do this, it is very simple. What I'm just going to do is to add a new heading. So come back here and we can actually duplicate this one. So we're going to duplicate this and I'm going to type in hot. Okay, move this to the top. All right, and I have an extension here. I have an extension, emoji keyboard by THEWPBRO, and this is what I use to add emojis to my websites. So I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to just edit this heading. I'm going to come to advanced and I'm going to scroll down to background. Okay, and click on this classic and change the color to red. I'm going to change the color to red. Okay, and come back to style. We're going to change the typography. We're going to make this in the templates. I made it slanted using italics. So I'm just to change the transformation style to italics and the color to white. All right. So Next thing I'm going to do, is to, I think I need to first of all put this into a container. Let's put it into a container. Okay. Just dragging this. All right. Now for the padding, let me add 10 to the left, add 3 to the bottom, and then I'm going to add 10 to the right and 3 to the top. Okay, and for the container, I'm just going to remove the padding for the whole thing. And also we're going to add border radius. So come to border, and for the border radius, I think 50 should do. 50. Okay. And let me come back to this text. So advanced. And I think I need to change the margin at the top. 1, 2. Okay. We're getting there. Now let's still move on to the next plans. For example, this enterprise, let me just copy this text, custom, and come down here, change this to, okay, this is going to be contact us. Okay, this is going to be contact us, and we're going to come to style. Okay, we don't need to go to style, we just need to come to the pricing and change this to custom, and we're going to change the plan to enterprise. So we have the enterprise plan. Okay. So for this auth edit that we're designing, we need to actually change the tag to HTML3. We're going to use HTML3, and also click on this, come to layouts, we justify. Okay, we're going to align it to stats. We're going to align item to stats, and there we have it. Okay, so you can just edit the other texts according to your own need. I'm not going to be diving deep into everything I did while I was building this landing page, and I was building this present page. You can just change the plan title, the amounts, and then the benefits included in each of those plans when you're designing your own for your own use. So now what we're going to do is to just edit the mobile and then the tablet version, and we're good to go. So actually, let me just reduce these a little bit. No, I think this, okay, it's okay this way. Now we're going to come to tablets. For the tablet version, we're going to click on edit container, and we have grid, but for the tablets, we're going to change the columns to 2 and then the rows to 1. All right, so we don't need to edit anything, we don't need to do much here. Same thing applies to mobile. Everything should be good, just the way it is. Now let's come back to desktop and let's see again. So we have the basic plan, the second plan, and all right, so what we're just going to do now is to click on publish. So let's just publish this page, and this page is live. What we're just going to do is to create a new section. by coming back to our dashboard, and then we're going to create a new section. And before we actually do that, let me add a little bit of padding here, so in case by the time we add this table to the website, to the design we're going to be creating, is going to look more perfect. So come to advanced and unlink these values. So we're just going to add 20 to the top right here. Should 20? Let's use 40. Okay, let's use 40, and that's good. Let's just click on publish one more time. Now what we're going to do is to come back to our dashboard. Just click on it, exit to WordPress. All right, so we are in our WordPress dashboard now. What we're going to do is to come to pages and select add new. All right, so what we're going to do now is to give this a title. I'm going to give it pricing page tutorial. All right, so we're going to give it pricing page tutorial just for easy identification. Come to templates, and we're going to choose Elementor full width, and let's just publish this page. Okay, now the page has been published. What we're going to do is to click on view page. I'm going to open this page in a new tab. And actually, I almost forgot, before we start editing this page in Elementor, let's do one thing. Let's come back to our dashboard and let's duplicate the monthly pricing tab table that we created. Let's duplicate it so that we'll be able to create something, so that we're able to create our yearly plan rather. So we just use the same templates for our yearly plan, since there's no difference in the design. So we're going to come down to templates. I'm going to click on add new. So for this one, same thing, we're going to choose section, and we're going to call this one yearly pricing. This is the yearly pricing, and we're going to click on create templates. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to first of all open the monthly pricing tutorial, the monthly pricing templates. So open the monthly pricing. We're just going to copy the whole container. I'm going to come back to yearly pricing to just paste it there, and we're just going to change a few details like the amounts and then the text. So we don't even need to change the text, just need to change the amounts. Just wait for this to load up. And okay, all right, so what I want to do here is to just copy this. So right click on this edit container, right click on it and click on copy. So now we've successfully copied the whole container right here. Now we're going to come back to yearly, and what we're just going to do is to just change, for example, if we come to this yearly tab, we're just going to change the price, and I think that's all. We're just going to change the price for the basic plan so as to just see how it's going to look like, and we're going to move on to the next part of this tutorial. Okay, now what we're going to do is to just right click, and we're going to paste. Oh wow, system is very slow right now. Okay, now we have the same template right here. What we're just going to do is just change the pricing for this one. So right for the design I made there, I changed the yearly plan to $182 per year. So let's just come back here and let's edit the price to 182. All right, and this should do. Let's just click on publish, and that's all. All right, so the page, this template has been published. Now we can move to our pricing page tutorial. So let's just click on this edit page. Now we can just successfully close this tab, but we're still going to leave this one open. So we're going to start designing from this area here, from this first section. So let's come back to edit page, and we're going to edit this page using Elementor. Now all we're going to do is to click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so let's start designing. And during the course of this tutorial, I might be moving my cursor from this my main screen to my second screen here. So I've actually designed this page. As you can see, I've designed this page and I know the values I used. So in case I just want to remember something, I'll just have to check and put in the real values so as to make this live stream very short and effective. So now let's start. The first thing we're going to do is to add our arrow section, and for this arrow section we're going to come back to our Elementor editor, click on this plus icon, choose flexbox, and we're going to choose this first structure right here. Okay, now we have the container here. What we're going to do is to copy this heading, flexible pricing for every business. You can decide to write something different for your own website, but for the sake of this tutorial, this is what we're going to be using. First of all, we're going to come here to add elements. We're going to add heading, and we're going to come back. We're going to add text editor. So we've already copied our heading. Just click on this heading, highlight everything here, and then paste. Okay, so what we're going to do is come to style. We're going to center this. We're going to change the text to 1A, 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 and then the typography also is going to be intertights. That's what we're going to be using for this tutorial, intertights. And the size, let me just confirm the size real quick. The size is supposed to be 50. Size is supposed to be 50. Let me just make that 50. Okay, size is 50, and I think that's all for this one for now. Let's move on to the next one, which is the subheading. Speed Boost Pro is a comprehensive website speed optimization, blah blah blah. Copy everything and come back to our Elementor widgets, and we're going to highlight everything we have here and paste. Okay, same thing, come to style. we're going to center this. Also, we're going to change the font color to 1A, 1A, 1A. And the font is also going to be interlight. Okay. And the style for the font size, we're going to just use 17. We're going to go with 17. Okay, that should be good. Now we need to add padding to this section. Just click on edit container, come to advanced, and we're going to add our let's add 150 to all sides. Okay, so we have something similar, and let's move on. So the next stage, the next thing we need to do is to add this monthly and yearly pricing tab. So to do that, we're going to click on plus, and we're going to search for a widget called tab. Let's just search for tab and let's see what comes up. You're going to choose advanced tabs from essential add-ons. That's why I asked you guys to install essential add-ons for Elementor. It's very important in this tutorial. So we have 3 tabs. Now let's start editing these tabs one by one. First of all, we don't need 3, we need 2. So let's delete this. Now we are left with 2. So for the first tab, we're going to change the title. We're going to change the title to monthly. And then for the second one, for the second tab, we're going to change the title to yearly. And I think I have something here. Okay, yearly 20% off. Okay. All right. And actually, there's something I need to do. Let's come to customize. I have added a code that's affecting this tabs widget. So let me just copy the code real quick and let me paste it somewhere else so you can see the design in real time. When it's time for the code, I'm going to put it back there. Okay. Okay, while still waiting for the page to load, I don't know what is wrong with my network today. Let's just move on to the next stage. So what we're going to do, we're going to customize, and let me open this page in a new tab so that we can see what we're working on. And let's put that here while we're still waiting for this one to load. So the next thing we're going to do is to, let's just add the tabs that we created, the templates rather. So for the monthly one, we're going to scroll down. Another content type. Under this content type, we're going to change the content type to save templates. Now we're going to choose the templates that we created. Remember, we saved it as monthly, and this second one is the one we created just now. So we're going to select that. Now we have the monthly tab right here. Same thing for yearly. We're going to scroll down, open up yearly, and we're going to change the contents. We're going to change content type to save templates, and we're going to search for yearly. We're going to choose the second one. That was the one we created in this tutorial. So we have our monthly, we have monthly, and we have yearly. Monthly, yearly. Okay, now let's come to style and let's start designing the whole appearance of these widgets. So what we're going to do, let's see, so I can follow along. This page is still loading. Okay, I have the page right here on my second. Okay, it is up and running. Now we have the color as blue and also the over color as blue, and then we change the fonts family. So let's start with that. Let's scroll down to tab title. And for normal, the background color is F5, F5, F5. And then for the text color, we used white. No, we didn't use white for normal. What did we use? We use 1A, 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 1A. Okay. Now for over, background color is going to change to 0055DE, and then the text color is going to remain white. And for active, the background color is also going to change to 0055DE. and the text color is going to remain as white. Okay, now what else did we do? We didn't add any border radius. Let's change the text, the font family. We're going to use intertight as usual, intertight, and we're going to change the weights. I think I used medium. All right, so medium, and that should be good. Let's view this yearly, monthly. Okay, now let's remove this icon that is here, and also let's remove the icon on these tabs. So I think that is under contents, general settings, and we're going to, where can I find it under general settings? Okay, let's click on monthly, and we're going to select this first icon here that says none. So we're going to remove the icon for monthly, and we're going to do the same thing for yearly. So under yearly, we're also going to remove icon. Okay, now let's come back to style, and let's scroll down to this caret, and let's deactivate this also. Now I believe this should be running. Let's scroll down to additional CSS here, and let me just remove the CSS code I added. So I'm going to copy all these codes. This code is going to be available on my website. I'm going to link it down in the description below when I'm through with this live stream. So you can just copy this code and paste it into your website when you need it. I'm going to show you the userness of this code when the time comes. So let me just cut this. Okay, and let's click on publish. All right, so let's just go back to what we were designing. Okay, I think it should be better now. Now what I'm going to do is to just publish this page. I'll most likely just refresh it so that what we did would be effective. So I think we just have to refresh this page. All right, so we're back, and okay, it is working as it's supposed to be. And you might actually face this problem where you will lose the CSS or the template you created. Just don't panic. By the time we view this in a new tab, the CSS should be back, and you can just fix this temporarily by coming to your admin area. Just click on dashboard, and we're going to disable, I think, inline CSS. I think, is it disable or enable inline CSS? I'm just going to tell you how you can fix that so later on in the course of this tutorial. As you can see, the CSS is active when we view it on our website, but then for some reasons when you are editing, it might decide to disappear. So let's just leave this for now, and let's focus on these two things that we are editing at the moment. Okay, now what we're going to do now is to, what's the next thing we want to do here? Let's just come back here to check. So we have monthly. Okay, this is, I think this is the preview page. This is what we're actually working on. Let me just close that. So we have monthly, we have yearly. Now I think there's nothing much to do. We've done basically everything we need. Okay, let's move on to the next section. The next section, we have compare our plans, and this is where the table plugin that we use come into place. Now this is what I did. I asked ChatGPT to create a table for me in a CSV file so that I can just import the table into my website. So For the comparison, you can just give it to ChatGPT and tell it to create a table for you using a CSV file, to create a table in a CSV format rather, and then you can just import the CSV into your website. So let me show you how you can do that. Okay, now we are in dashboard, and we have installed THEWPBRO. What we're just going to do is to scroll down to THEWPBRO, and we're going to click on import a table. Instead of creating a table from scratch, you can just use AI to, to skip that process. And as you can see, we have about 4 upload sources. We have file upload, we have URL, file on server, and manual inputs. So for file upload, you can just drag in the file here. Let me see whether it is still available in my download section. Do I still have it here? Okay, we have it. Let me just drag this here. All right, so it says we have selected one file, speed boost pro plan comparison.csv. I use the CSV version. I think you can also import multiple tables by placing them in a zip file. And I think you have about 3 okay, you can use XLSX from Excel. You can use CSV, ODS, HTML, and JSON file, but I prefer to use CSV. And what we're just going to do is to click on what? Click on imports. So when you click on imports, you're going to see the table information, and then you're going to see everything right here. So you can adjust anything that you need to adjust, and move on with the rest of the work. So now the table ID is 2. I think the first one I created is 1. So this one is 2. The table name, this is it. And then you can also change the description. And then you need to scroll down. And there are some things we need to disable. Okay, for this table features for site visitors, we don't need it. I don't think anybody needs this, especially for what we want to use it for. We don't need them to search anything here. So let's just do one thing. Let's just disable everything once and for all, and that should be all. I like the row while the mouse cursor is everything is okay as it is. Everything is okay. What we can just do is to click on save changes. All right, says the table was saved successfully. Now we're going to come back to our pricing page. Let's go back to our pricing page, and wait 1 minute. I need to fix something right here. Okay. Okay, we have someone here in the chats. Let me just. All right, so moving on, I just have to acknowledge one of my viewers, which is actually my brother, in the chat right there. So moving on, and we're going to come to pricing page. We're going to copy this, compare our plans, come down here, create a new section, choose this first one, and as usual, let's do one thing. Let's come back here, copy this heading. We're going to copy this heading, and we're going to come here to paste it. So we're going to paste. Okay, now we're just going to edit this to compare our our plans. Oh, sorry. Compare our plans, and for the style, we're going to align it to the left. We're going to align the text to the left, and I think we're going to reduce our font size. We're going to reduce our font size. 1 sec. Okay, so we're going to change this to 40. We're going to change this to 40, and we're going to edit the padding. For this one, the padding is going to be different. It's going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to add, first of all, let's unlink these values. We're going to add 100 to the top, and we're going to add 100 to the bottom. 100 to the top, 100 to the bottom, and click on this plus icon. Next thing we're going to do is to search for table press. Search for table press, and oh no, we don't need to search for table press actually, and we can also use that route. But I think for this one, what I used is the table press. I think I use the table press from Elementor kits, Element kits rather. So in case you do not have that, you can install Element kit add-ons, and then we're going to drag that here. Now we're going to choose a table, and we're going to choose this first table. So there we have it. This is the table that we created just now. So we have the table here. What I can just do is to change the background color. So let me just click on this edit container, come to style, and for the background color, I think we're just going to go with F5, F5, F5. So let's see, F5, F5, F5. I think that's what I used right here. Okay, so that is also looking good. That's looking good. For this monthly and yearly pricing tab, I think we need to add a little bit of padding to this one also, because everything looks jam packed. So for this one, we're going to add let's say 50 to the top. I'm going to add 100 to the bottom. Okay, 50 to the top, 100 to the bottom. And we have created our comparison, our table comparison too. So the next thing we need to do is to create our frequently asked questions. So to do that, we're also going to create a new layout, and then I'm going to copy this text right here, compare our plans. So copy this, and I'm going to paste that here. So we're going to change the text. Let me copy the text we're going to paste in the text here, frequently asked questions, come to style. I'm going to center that, and also I think we're going to work on the, okay, there's nothing to work on here actually. What we're just going to do is to copy this subheading, and we're going to scroll down. We're going to paste the subheading right here, and the text is going to change. We have got questions about our plans or services. We've compiled answers to some of the frequently asked questions, blah blah blah. Let me just come back here to copy that text. So copy this text and paste it right here. Okay, now come to style, and we're going to change this to 16. Change it to 16. And for this frequently asked question, we're going to be using one widget called accordion. I think this is also from Elements Kit Lights. There's Elements Kit Lights. Yeah, Elements Kit Lights. I think that's correct. We're going to be using accordion. I think this one. So let's just drag and drop. Okay, yeah, we're using this one. So we have 3 questions here. It says, what happens if I need more features on my plan? So to add a new frequently asked question, let me copy all this together, come down here. So this first, okay, let me just open up one. This title is the question. So I'm just going to paste in the question right there. So let me copy the answer. What happens if I need more features than what is offered in my plan? So I'm just going to copy that, and for the answer, we're going to paste the answer here. So that's how you can easily create a frequently asked question using this plugin. So let's add some widgets to these frequently asked questions. Let's come to advanced, and we're going to unlink the values. So for this one, we're going to add 130 to the top. We're going to add 150 to the right. Also add 130 to the top, and another 150 to the left. Okay, and let's just do one thing. Let me change the font color for the answer. So we're going to come to style. Under style, we're going to scroll down to description. I'm going to scroll down to description, and I'm going to change the font color to 1A. We already have everything as enter tight, so there's nothing we can do there. And one thing, let's check our tablet version. Okay, our tablet version needs a little bit of work. Let's start from the arrow section before we even move to the tablet version. Let's just create everything. Let's create everything and let's add the last section that we have here, which is get started. Let me just copy this text so we can just edit everything once and for all. So I'm going to copy the text. I'm going to come here, click on flexbox, this first one, and the background for this one is going to be black. So let me just do that real quick. And I think I used our usual 1A, 1A, and 1A. All right. So what we're going to do is to, let me still copy this. Copy, come here to paste. Come here to paste, and we're going to change the text to get started. We're going to change the text to get started, and also we're going to change the color to white so that it can be visible. And we're going to align it to the left. I'm going to align it to the left, and I think okay, we have get started. Now let's put in our subheading. Copy this, and we're going to drag in text editor, and we're going to paste in the text there. Okay, ready to boost your website speed? Choose the plan that is perfect for you. That's right for you. Change the font color to white. Come to advanced, and I think under is it transform? No, not transform. How can I forget? Okay, I think, is it this? No. I think I'm missing out something here, and I can't seem to understand what is going on. But then let's just move on. Let's break this here. Let's break this. Okay. So what we're going to do is to add a little bit of padding. Just click on edit container. We're going to come to advanced. Let's see 150 all through. Okay, lastly, there's a button. We can just copy. We can't copy the button, so we have to create the button. Okay, no problem. Scroll down, click on edit, add elements. I'm going to drag in a button. So let me just drag in the button here, and this is going to be called sign up for a plan. Sign up for a plan. We're going to put the link there, and let's just change the style. Okay, we're going to change the color to blue. We're going to use 0055 DE, and typography, let's change this to medium. Okay, and I think that's all. Probably border radius should be 10, and let's see the padding also 10. Let's use 30 and 30. Let's say 15 and 15. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let's edit the mobile and tablet version, starting from the arrow section. So for this one, we're going to click on this icon to go to tablets. All right. Now, what we're going to be doing is not that serious. We're just going to edit the padding, come to advanced. We're still going to maintain the 150 at the top and also 150 at the bottom. Whereas we can just make this 150, and I think this one too should be good at 50. Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. But let's make it, let's see, 70 and 70. All right, let's move on to the next. For this one, I think we don't really have anything to do here. There's no need to add any padding to this, but yeah, there's no need to add any padding. Let's move on to the next. For this one, let's just edit the padding at the left and right. Come to advanced. We're still going to maintain 100 at the top. We're still going to maintain 100 at the top and 100 at the bottom, but we can definitely add about 20 and 20. Okay, and also we're going to remove this table for mobile, because somehow I couldn't get this table to be responsive on mobile version. So we're just going to leave the mobile users to use this pricing table, which for some reason the CSS is not working properly in the editor. So, and also if you know a fix for this, you can just let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to take notes of your corrections. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to edit this whole container. We're going to come to advanced, we're going to come to responsive, and we're going to hide it on mobile. Okay, so it's still going to be available for tablet viewers, and frequently asked questions is okay. I think this is okay, and also this last section is okay. Now let's move to mobile. Mobile needs a lot of work. From the frequently asked questions, let's start from that. So edit container, I'm going to only call these values, but we're still going to maintain 120 at the top, 120 at the bottom. Let's add 20 to the left, to the right, and then to the left, and that's okay. And same thing for this one. Unlink all the values. Let's maintain 100 at the top, 100 at the bottom, 20 at the right, 20 at the left. That should work out well. Now let's publish and let's view the change we created. Now what we're going to do, let me come back here. We're just going to click on this drop down, and I'm going to click on view page. So it's going to open up in a new tab, and let's see what we've been designing so far. So I'm just going to wait for it to load up. All right, so we designed the heading, flexible pricing for every business. We have this tab here, the monthly and the yearly. The monthly and all right, it's working perfectly. Then we have the table right here, and we have the frequently asked question, and then lastly we have this call to action. Now for the codes that I deleted the other time, let me bring that up on my second screen. All right, let me just copy the code, Ctrl C, and let's come back here, and let's close this page, close this one, and let's just work on the one that we just created. And so we're going to close this. Now we're going to customize this page. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to come to CSS. Let me close this, and I will paste this code here. Let me collapse this. Okay. All right, so I think I'm just going to make a little bit of adjustments. Let me make this 400 and this to be 400. Okay, that works perfectly. And okay, I think there's something I need to do. Sorry, we need to come back to this page. Let me come back to desktop, and we're going to come to this container and we're going to change the layout from boxed to full width and publish the change. Okay, I haven't done that. I think it is safe to return this back to 500px and also 500px. Let's publish this. So what I just did here is that I decided to edit the padding since it's not available with the plugin. So I decided to write a code to target this this tab switcher, to target the padding left and the padding right, just to make it small because I don't want it to be this long on screen. So this code is going to affect PCs and larger screen. This one is going to affect tablets between 600px and 900px, and then this one is for the mobile screen. And this one right here is for the table. I used it to change the font family for this table. I changed the font family to Inter since the option is not available with the, I think with the free version of this plugin. I think the option to change the fonts family is available in the pro version. I'm not that sure. So I just use the code to change the fonts. You can just use any font that you're using on your website. You can clear out this one and type in the font family there. And also for the caption, I decided to remove it because I couldn't find a way to remove, I think this is the caption. I couldn't find a way to remove the caption from, okay, yes. I couldn't find a way to remove the caption inside the plugin. There was no settings for that. Everybody could see that edits. Even if I was logged in or logged out of my website, I could still see the edits. So I decided to use CSS to remove it. So that's everything about this code right here. So what I'm going to do to show the changes, as you can see, this is still not balanced. We can refresh this, or let me just close this page in general. And by the time it's refresh, this should be fixed properly. Okay, as you can see, it has been fixed, and then we have the monthly and the yearly. And I think there's too much space, there's too much padding between this text and then this tab. We can just fix that easily by coming down here. I'm going to click on this edit container, come down to advanced, and we're going to change the bottom. Let's unlink the values. Let's change the bottom to something different. Let's use 100. Sorry. Oh boy. No. Let's use 100. I think 100 should do. Let's publish the changes. All right. By the time we refresh this, it should be better. And as you can see, like I said, you might even encounter this issue on the front end of your website. So to fix this, we're just going to go back to our WordPress dashboard. So exit to WordPress and let's see whether the changes there as okay. I think it's better this way. So we have the heading, we have the subheading, we have the price tab, we have the monthly, we have the yearly, and we have the comparison, the plan comparison, and then we have the frequently asked questions, and lastly we have the call to action for them to sign up for a plan. So let me close this page and let's come back to the WordPress dashboard. All right, so while we're here, we can just come to Elementor and we're going to come to settings. So under settings, I think, is it features? I don't think it's features. Let's come to performance. All right. So CSS print method, you can just change this from external file to internal embedding. Internal embedding places all CSS in the head, which works great for troubleshooting. So in case you are having an issue with your CSS, just change it to internal embedding and the problem is going to be fixed. This is why external file uses external CSS file for better performance, although it is recommended, but at times it can glitch out. So for example, let's change this to external file and let's save changes and let's see whether our websites won't be affected. So we've saved the changes. Let me just come to preview, pricing page, the one that we created just now. Let's use pricing page tutorial and let's see whether our CSS is still active. Okay. All right, so our CSS is still working now, but in case your CSS is not active, you can just come back here to change it from external file to internal file. So I think we've come to the end of this live stream. If you enjoyed this live stream, if you gained value from it, you know what to do. Just like the video to let the algorithm know that, oh, you got value from this, and also subscribe for more content like this. I know this live stream is a little bit, it's not that smooth. It's over a year. It's over a year since I live streamed last on this channel. I'm just trying to get myself together, and I'm very sure the next stream is going to be very, very smooth. So thank you all for tuning in. I have about 12 views during the live stream and 1 comment, and I hope we only go up from here. So thank you for joining this live stream, and if you have any question, any suggestion, anything that you might have, anything that you want to see, just put them down in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to reach out to you and answer all your questions. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. All right.